Hillary Clinton is getting ready to unleash her secret weapon, her husband, Bill Clinton. The former president will be campaigning for her in key early voting states. Donald Trump using the news to turn Hillary Clinton's words against her, unleashing a tirade on Twitter, warning the Democratic frontrunner to be careful when she accuses him of sexism, and warning that he could go after Bill Clinton.
I think he is fair game because his presidency was really considered to be very troubled, to put it mildly, because of all of the things that she's talking to me about. I mean, she's mentioning sexism. I turned her exact words against her from that standpoint. And she's got to be careful. You know, it's got to be fair. And we all have to fight fairly. She's playing the woman's card, and it's like, give me a break.
This is really interesting to me, Guy, because she is playing the woman card. She always talks about a war on women. She's accusing everyone of sexism. And here she is someone who was disgraced by her own husband in the Oval Office. So my question to you is this good political strategy? Can Donald Trump or any candidate effectively go after Hillary and her record while at the same time exposing the hypocrisy of her war on women strategy when she's married to Bill Clinton?
He disgraced himself. He didn't disgrace her with his actions.
But she allowed him to get away with a lot and didn't condemn a lot of that.
Look, I think there's part of me that likes this almost as a brushback pitch from Trump, being like, you're going to go with this woman card constantly. It's going to be obnoxious and annoying, and I'm not going to let you get away with it. I don't know if this is the most effective way of highlighting her hypocrisy on the women's stuff, because a lot of people will see it as relitigating the past on Bill Clinton. Most people view Bill Clinton very favorably and his presidency very favorably. So I'm not really sure. And plus, Trump, if he's the nominee, will handle the whole thing so ham-fistedly it will backfire inevitably. So if you want to come after Hillary on all the woman stuff, there are better ways of doing it. Pointing out all the money that the Clinton Foundation has taken from regimes that treat women as second-class citizens or worse. Pointing out that under the Democrats' own stupid metric and rubric, she has consistently underpaid women. It's a dumb attack, but it's their attack, and they should be held by those standards. Or also just the fact that this economy, the Obama economy, has failed women overwhelmingly, disproportionately, and she supports these policies. You can come after her on hypocrisy, dredging up the Lewinsky stuff and the misconduct.
But you know what's interesting, guys?
It was a mistake.
When you look at the way that women criticize Hillary Clinton, or why she can't really inspire the women's base, the way people would think, you look at the criticism that comes from millennials, and I was looking at a quote on Huffington Post of all places, where there was a younger woman who was saying that I don't like Hillary Clinton's old-fashioned feminism. That they resent her the same way they don't like Sheryl Sandberg, because it's like rich white women, this is their quote, rich white women telling us what the rules should be. If you look at the view of older women of Hillary Clinton, and I hear this all the time, whether you're at a party, you're out to dinner, you know, women that are, you know, I would say her age roughly would say they don't like the way she handled the Bill Clinton thing.
Can I piggyback on that though? I am a child of the 90s. I'm 31. I grew up having conversations that quite frankly were probably inappropriate for the age I was at because of the conduct of Bill Clinton while he was president during that time. That's not something that I'm easily forgetting right now, and the idea of having him back in the White House makes me uncomfortable for that very reason. And for me, but when we're talking about this old school idea of feminism, I completely second that. I don't like the idea that my husband's going to cheat on me, we're going to make it okay, and this is somehow going to be part of the platform, and they're going to try and reverse it against women that still have a problem with his conduct in the 90s.
But let me just say this as somebody, and let me just take my political hat off for a second. I think it's incredibly dangerous for anybody to criticize anybody else's marriage. None of us knows what happens inside a marriage.
Yeah, but in politics, it's what happens.
No, but I'll tell you this. For people that blame her for not leaving, there's a lot of women out there that chose to stay with their husbands who had infidelity and other reasons. It's not for any of us to judge what happens in any marriage. I would say that about a Democratic marriage or a Republican marriage. I say that as a woman. I say that as somebody who's actually single.
But if Ted Cruz's girls are still like fair game right now, then that's good. They were according to the Washington Post.
And they're not, and they shouldn't have been.
They were according to the Washington Post. I'm sorry to tell you this, but marriages and families, it's as fair game as anybody else.
I don't think anybody's
White House. And I would like to say that I think that Donald Trump, if he's going to use his egregious in the tent fighting and finally push it towards Hillary Clinton, I'm all for it.
No, that's Julie, can I just say, she's putting him out there. She's using him as a political prop.
She could be.
She's the one who's going to start talking out there politics and talk war on women, and you guys are all sexist, and Donald Trump said something that hurt my feelings. And at the same time, she is going to use her husband, who was accused of sexual assault, who was accused of rape, who lost his law license as a result of it, as some sort of political prop. It was almost as ridiculous as when he was speaking at the Democrat National Convention, and they were talking about women's rights.
I'm going to give you two data.
You have to be able to point that out.
I'm going to give you can point it out all you want. I'm going to give you 2 data points. Data point number 1 is he's still the most popular politician in the nation right now. So you could go scream about it, but you're screaming to your own cohort. You're not screaming
Which
to
is
anybody
why
else.
she'll bring him out.
She'll
That's
bring him
true.
out, which is a smart political move. She should have brought him out in 2008 more than she did. Secondly, and I say this as somebody who's seen a lot of crosstabs from a lot of polling over the years on this issue, it is a dumb political move. And I'm not saying this again, this is not a partisan belief. It is a dumb political move to criticize a woman for her husband's infidelity.
Okay.
Because her husband's infidelity resounds on her more than anybody else. That's what he's
I'm
saying.
saying you want to make it to the White House.
Hang on, we got to go one at a time here, or else everybody's going to get very mad at us.
But I think it's disingenuous to sit here and say that their marriage is not up for games, and it should be off topic for Donald Trump. When any marriage, whether you like it or not, in America today, it's going to be up for grabs.
He can talk about it. It's dumb political strategy.
Our one man hasn't had a chance to get in yet. Please weigh in.
Here's my concern. Yes, she's going to play the women card a lot in the general election. She will also be playing the victimhood card all the time, and this plays into that by saying, oh, let's sort of bullying Hillary Clinton over the sins of her husband. She knows politically, she's calculating that would actually work for her.
Bingo. That's all I'm suggesting. All I'm suggesting is that exactly what you're saying. It is a dumb political strategy. You can go ahead and do it. As a Democrat, I'm thrilled that you're
I
doing
think
it.
having Donald Trump
But you can go after
do it,
them with other
though.
stuff.
There's a lot of things Donald Trump does that I traditionally think would be a dumb political move, but it's working. Let him go after her like the attack dog he is. Let him do all the dirty work.
Good. Let him do it.
He's broken all the rules and gotten away with it. It seems to be working for him.
Yeah, I'm actually happy that someone's calling it what it is. I mean, I understand your point, Julie, and I think you have to be sensitive, and I think you have to go after her for her record first.
Yes.
But to not point out the idiocy of rolling Bill Clinton out as some kind of political prop when he's such a nightmare when it comes to women's rights. I think people everywhere at home are saying thank you, someone, for saying that. That's just my opinion.